Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Is John Donne equated it to a small death.
Is that what he
Death,
equated to a small death? Because I'm
And
pretty
sleep-
sure he equated that to a small death to something else.
Oh, well, that too. Was that John Donne who did that?
I thought so, but I don't know.
The poem I'm thinking of is Death Be Not Proud. And he says, from rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure then from thee and much more must flow. So like sleep is awesome, so death must be great, is the rough translation of that. It's like, don't be scared of it, peasants. He wrote it during the Black Plague to make the poor people feel better about the fact that they were all dying.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah,
going
I
to
mean-
sleep for a few hours. You might not wake up. It's okay. It's all
Yeah,
right.
he's like, that's not that big of a deal. It's a great poem. Ryan see me teach it, I think.
Yes. It's a good,
It's a good poem.
Still, my favorite is the automated house. By
Oh, yeah.
Bradbury?
Ray Bradbury. There we go. I was gonna say Ray Barron, and I was gonna combine those two, and I was like, no, that's not it.
Ray
It's,
Barone? No, I don't think it was Ray Barone.
That
It
one's
was-
There Will Come Soft Rains. We taught that to kids who should not have been taught that. Like, they didn't
they were-
get it, and that was probably great.
They were fine. They were fine. The black cat was also a good one. How to
Black
avo-
Cat worked. Yeah.
Well, it was trying to avoid, which was if you're a teacher and you're watching this, the great differentiation of explaining how the cat's not dead and it's just a spirit still alive is quite interesting.
And you know what Pluto is, kids? Edie's god of the underworld. And they all freak out. It's good. Wait, did he cut the cat's eye out? Sure did, Skipper. Welcome to the
Yes.
10th grade. Buckle up.
We got-
Anyway, everybody, this is Xenomania, and we are doing the Conjuring tonight. But before we get into that, the ups and downs that will surely have, John's
Oh.
got a fun little thing for us.
I do. I have a blind rank for you guys.
All right.
And you guys are actually this time it's 6 movies.
Oh,
Six.
okay.
It's a
Ooh,
sixer.
look at that. Ooh.
The theme is
All
all
right.
James Wan. All
It is
James Wan
not-
films.
It is not all James Wan. So your first
All
films,
sequels.
Insidious 2, it is not
All
all
sequels
sequels.
in a franchise. Yeah, goddamn it. Sequels in a larger franchise. I would have jump on Ryan's freaking coattails and just guess it right away. Insidious 2, Ghost Stories. Now with Insidious, I know that I always confuse The Conjuring and Insidious. Insidious doesn't have the Warrens. That's the one with the demon in the first one.
Yeah, that's the it
Yeah.
still has Patrick Wilson in it, who's also
Yeah, that's where
Ed
I get
Warren.
confused.
Yeah. The first one's about the red demon going after their son, and the son is possessed,
It's
and
up on the wall.
yes, it's so good. I love the first one, but the second one
Insidious?
focuses. I was gonna say it focuses more on the Black Bride.
Yeah, I find Insidious to be the superior film compared to The Conjuring. I'll just throw that out there
I agree.
for controversy.
I think I
Insidious is-
agree too.
Yeah. Insidious 2, where have
1 through 6.
any of these, 1 through 6, so all of them. Oh, no, 1 through 6 as far as that.
Yeah, you're ranking 1 through
Four.
6. We have 6
Four.
movies in our blind rank. 4 for Kearns.
Quattro, baby.
I'm going to go with number 3. I'm gonna put it at number 3. And
Ooh,
This
yes.
is the remake. Before you get too excited,
okay, yeah. Are these all Patrick Wilson films?
they are not.
Haven't seen
all
Carrie.
films where women wear dresses.
That's a good guess, but it is not the answer.
If you said yes, I wouldn't have been upset. I was like, all right, that was really good, right?
Insidious 2 versus the remake of Carrie is like the matchup from hell in my head. I simply don't care. I'm gonna put Carrie at 3. I want to do 5.
I'm gonna put it at 6 because, I've seen the original. I've seen bits of this remake, but besides the main star, I think it's the hit girl from Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
It
she's
is, yep.
awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing, but I don't know. Nothing beats the original.
Chloe Grace
It's
Moretz.
true. Chloe Grace Moretz.
This one
All
doesn't
right.
have John Travolta.
So,
Probably should.
movie number 3,
Oh, okay.
The Purge.
That's tough too, because I would have put that at 3. Son of a bitch. The Purge gets number 2. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm
trying
gonna
to think.
go with number 2 with that too. That was a good film. I saw that in theaters when it premiered.
Do they all have the same producer?
No.
Damn it! I tried
was
to
a
cheat
good
with
one.
the top because it says the producer
Oh.
of Sinister on the top.
I was thinking about that too.
I didn't
Hmm.
know his name, so it's like the same producer.
You know what?
Um,
Wait a minute. We haven't. Does it have anything to do with actors within it? Is it around actors?
No
that they-
clues. There are no.
It does not.
clues.
It does not.
Oh,
I will give
see? I took
I
a
will-
chance.
I'll give you a clue. You can
Oh.
give me a vague answer that I will count, but there's also a very specific answer.
Okay.
All right. Ready for movie number 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mama.
5.
Really?
I didn't like Mama.
Two.
Probably for Freudian reasons.
I'll put it at 4.
4.
How I have a list going now, that would definitely be 4.
All right. You both have number 1 left.
And number 6.
And no, Kearns has 6 and Ryan has the 5.
5.
Well, this is gonna go one of 2 ways, everybody.
All right. Movie
Here we
number
go.
5. The remake.
Oh, I'm
Is
still
this-
putting it at number 1.
Is this movies about possession?
No.
No, because Carrie wasn't possessed. I would
Me-
argue that to the death.
No possession in The Purge either.
Oh, true. I'm
You're
gonna put
possessed by
I'm gonna-
bloodlust.
I'm gonna put that at number 5 because the only reason why I saw this movie in theater, spoiler alert, is just to hear Bruce Campbell go groovy after the credits ended.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
All
He
right.
pops up.
I went on a deep dive the other night with him, staying up too late and watching his clips at Comic-Con and stuff. I just adore the man.
It's amazing. I want to meet him so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Have him sign my Jack of all trades DVD collector set.
This movie better suck, John. This movie better be the worst movie ever.
Well, you have 6 left and Ryan has 1 left. One of you is going to be very happy. And don't think it's going to be you because here's the last one.
I'll
Oh,
take your next. I'll take it. What?
Yeah,
You
I
didn't-
wouldn't put that at 6.
Yeah, that's a good film. Is this about
Yeah.
home invaders?
It is not about
Who
home
invades
invading.
Carrie's home?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's getting stuck on Carrie.
Carrie invades
Yeah.
herself.
Well, that stinks. Let me think here. There's masks in a couple of them, but not all of them. There's blood in all of them, but not all, or some of them. No. Like there's no theme there. Possession isn't it. Ghosts, demons, Carrie, no demons in Purge. Purge has no supernatural element whatsoever.
None
No.
at all.
No, it doesn't. Are these
You're
movies?
stuck at home. You're shut in at home. Not in Carrie though. You're not. Damn it! I got nothing, dude.
These are movies that Stephen King enjoys.
I mean, maybe, but that is not. All right. So these are all movies that came out in 2013.
Oh,
The same year as The Conjuring. These are also, the most specific answer would have been, these are movies, the 2 through 7th most highest grossing movies of 2013.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That was a big year for horror, huh?
Conjuring was number 1.
Of course. That was nothing could beat The Conjuring that year. Not even Insidious Part 2 could.
I would have thought The Purge would have because it draws a bigger crowd of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
yeah.
who wouldn't just go to a horror movie.
So I think what happened with Insidious is 2 is where it started to grow. Because the first one was kind of like not super huge, I don't remember.
No,
I don't know if it was. I saw it in the theaters and I really dug it. Even from the beginning where they do that like music with the title.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yep.
And then they really leaned into everything. It was a good film.
I think it.
Conjuring is not a bad movie either, as we're about to get into.
No.
No.
I mean, I have issues with The Conjuring that we'll go into, but most of them don't involve the movie itself.
Yeah. Do you have any reviews to kick us off?
I have 2 kick us off reviews. I have a 5-star and a 1-star.
Sweet.
One
Let's start with
star.
a 5. Let's start with a 5.
You want to see? Yeah, let's start with the 5. 5 stars. The whole trilogy is awesome, and I
boo.
loved it.
Boo. We're
I'm-
not doing the whole trilogy, buddy.
I'm
Just doing the first.
53. Seen them all, and this is a good set of movies. Creepy, scary, and worth the watch. The nun in the second one was cool, as were all the terrors. Like better than original Freddy or Jason, I'd say. I want to kill this person. For reference, I like 13 Ghosts, House on Haunted Hill, Jason, Freddy as some of my faves, and this was up there, maybe above.
And
Kudos.
self-flagellation and being an
Kudos.
incel.
Hard to find
And long walks
any
in the ring.
truly good horror movies nowadays.
You're still,
Because you're watching the wrong ones, bro.
and he's
Sir.
it seems like he's just shopping at Walmart. He's going to that section. He's
Yeah,
getting the 3
That
for
sounds a
the,
lot like
Mhm.
the
that.
$15 3 bundle. You need go to Screen Factory. Go to Vinegar Syndrome. Get some
13
some
Ghosts
real
was,
horror
it
films.
was an
It is.
enjoyable watch. It is, but it's not like up there with the movies that he ranked them against.
Yes.
Come here. We will introduce you to better new horror movies than The
That too.
Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yes, like
Whatever
Chud.
your name is. 5-star Chud.
Absolutely. All right. 1 star.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Not enough boobs.
To be honest, this is the worst film I have ever seen. This is a horrible film. Not scary, no jump scares, which is what I expect in a horror film. This is a mild U at best, me being generous, and genuinely a rubbish film. I can't believe some of these reviews on here saying how great it is because I don't even think that we watched the same film.
What I find interesting about that is that the criticism I have is that there are jump scares.
Yes.
There are.
There are.
The criticism I would have is if you're relying on the jump scare to be the scariest part of the horror movie.
And I wouldn't say they do that overly too much in the first one. They do that in the second one
Mhm.
quite
Yes.
a bit.
The reliance on jump scares should not be where the fear of a movie is coming from.
No.
Right.
I will go back to this. This is where I will defend Blair Witch Project. For an hour and 20 minutes, Blair Witch Project ratchets up the suspense and its
Yeah.
ability to scare you, and then it fails.
Yeah, at the end with the
Mhm.
jump scare.
But they built the
Yeah.
fear. The jump scare is what fails.
Yeah. The
It's-
ending could have been better. I agree.
It's like you got to go back to the old Universal horror films, where it was like the music, the acting that brought that thrill, and especially more of the music. And The Conjuring, they do a good job. James
They
Wan does a
do
good
that.
job with the
Mhm.
music, and I'm not talking about like the timepiece music, which fits in brilliantly as well, but it's like the orchestra and when shit's getting heavy, it gives you goosebumps, makes your hair stand up, and sometimes it's nothing and it's the characters interacting with what they're seeing, or
Mhm.
it is something. And when we do
Yeah.
get to that part on top of the closet, I did laugh because that was a horrible makeup job on that. I'm sorry. It was Robert Englund with a wig and a skirt.
Mhm.
So
No
this
fluff.
movie, just to kick off, if you're watching this, you should have seen The Conjuring by now. If you
Yeah.
haven't,
Yeah.
we'll give you a little bit, but
There-
we're not going to go crazy.
There's going to be some spoilers. If you haven't seen a 12-year-old massive horror movie by now
Yeah.
and you choose to listen, then well, I don't feel so
Haunted
bad.
house. Lots
Yeah.
of young daughters in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Parents trying to figure it out. Call the
And-
specialist.
And you don't even start there because the first 10 minutes of this movie is an Annabelle movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's really where you realize that this movie isn't going to show you who the Warrens actually are. It's going to show you a Hollywood heroic version of two very flawed people at best.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Warrens are the experts, the paranormal activity experts in the film. And they are called in after things are getting real bad over at the house. We can run through a few of those. Ryan, maybe toss out a couple of the incidents that occur in the beginning for this family whose name I forgot.
They are the parent family. They move into a farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Carolyn's a stay-at-home mom. Roger's a truck driver. And they have 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, and their dog, Sadie. And it all starts when Sadie is
Sadie didn't make it
refusing.
long.
No, and that rewatching it, I completely forgot about it. Once I knew she wasn't going into the house, and they were like, we'll just leave her outside. It's quiet. No one's going to do anything. The dog gets it. April.
Apparently, that's part of the true story. The dog did die outside
Yes.
their first
Yes.
night.
And so normally I wouldn't jump to another review right this quick, but I have one that ties into this.
Okay, let's
Were
do
they
it.
upset? They were upset.
This is a this is a 1-star review, and it is not going to go where you expect it to go. To those in this 1-star section, stop complaining about how they killed the dog off. The movie states that it is based on a true story and the dog died in real life. You can't bring the dog back in reality, so why change the whole story in the film just to fix your issue with the dog dying? Yes, it was sad, but it happened. Nothing you can do about it.
That's just cold right there.
Sir. And this is I didn't take a name down. This is most assuredly a man, because a woman would never write something that unhinged. Sir. Just because the dog died in real life does not mean you have to kill the dog off in the movie, especially if you don't do anything with it.
True.
They kill the dog off. April goes and finds the dead dog. She screams. She's upset for about 2 minutes and has no lasting trauma from that. The next time you see this little girl, she's running around the house happy as can be.
Well, that's because she's got her best friend Rory, which she finds the music box and she sees him, and that's her new BFF. That's why.
But that's my soapbox for tonight. I think is you don't have to kill the dog off all the time. Like, number one, it bothers some people. It limits the amount of movies I can watch with Allison because she will not watch a movie if the dog dies. There's a whole website for if the dog dies.
Oh, that's funny.
I feel like if you're going in that direction creatively, killing animals or even children, because that's on that same level. I would even say like old people as well, because I did shed a tear when Martin Sheen dies in The Departed. I feel
it's kind of funny how he dies though. He's like, oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, the flailing, and then it's like, sorry, spoilers. You should have seen that movie too, and the original Internal Affairs. But I digress.
Just rewatched it. I just rewatched it.
The Departed. Oh, okay, I was like, you've seen Eternal Affairs? It's a great one too.
That is good too. Yeah.
But to do it, it just gives you shock value, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like burned in your memory, whether it's good or bad.
But again, it's another one of those cheap things that they do, like the jump scare. You don't
to dig.
If you're not gonna do anything with it, why do it? Like,
well, very rarely does it work in a way that's artistic too. Like Shutter Island works very well with
Such a
killing
good film.
kids because it's interwoven in the story perfectly, and it's gripping, and it does get that grip, but it's not cheap. It's done well. But when they just do that and they just like the dead wife thing, or the kids going, or the killing the animals, like I Am Legend leaned into it so heavy.
Yep.
When he kills Sam in that movie, he's like,
spoilers.
Yeah.
Well,
spoilers.
If you get into it, there was a scene I noticed that was similar to Insidious. So I believe a year prior, James Wan directed Insidious, right? So the scene with the tiptoes in the window and the kids running around, I felt like that scene returned when they were playing hide and clap. hearing the children run and like that little like jump scare with the clapping and leading to the basement cellar. It gave me that Insidious vibe. And I think that's why we were talking about how it like some fans, horror fans, can get both movies confused because you both have Patrick Wilson in both of them as a leading actor, but also it's similar vibes with the ghost, the paranormal.
The aesthetics are very similar
Yeah.
too.
Oh
I know
yeah,
that they kind of go more 70s, but it is a bit interesting
Mhm.
when you watch them side by
Mhm.
side or whatever. It feels like the same movie. They
yes,
bleed into each other a bit.
Mhm.
yes they do.
And just one more comment on this whole "it happened in real life" element of this. There's a lot of other things that happen in real life attached to this story that they ignored also.
Oh, like say what?
Like
What, John?
Reveal.
maybe Ed Warren having a 40-year affair with a woman he met and started dating when she was 15.
I'm gonna say woman is a strong word.
I mean,
Yeah.
40 years later, she's a woman. She's not a woman when they met. She's a 10th grader.
No,
Yeah,
yep.
it's wild.
He was, if you don't mind me adding, he was driving
Some
a
Jerry
school
Lee
bus at
Lewis
the
stuff
time.
right there. Oh, he was the bus driver?
He's
Allegedly.
a stereotype.
Allegedly.
He's a stereotype. I mean, so, this is where we get into my problems with The Conjuring is, you clean up the image of two very fraudulent human beings.
Mm.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah,
And that's the snake oil salesman aspect of it.
And-
I can't stand frauds. Cannot stand them.
Yeah. And you allow them to clean their own images up, really, because Lorraine Warren had some level of control over how they were depicted in these movies.
Mm.
which it's that whole Hollywood glamour if you really look at it, because like even though they see the bad, it's that old Hollywood
Mhm.
style of let's do the good stuff and we're gonna make more money doing the good stuff because if we show them at their worst, we're not gonna get 2, 3, and 4
Mhm.
and this whole universe, which
Mhm.
they've made
This-
over 700 million. I've learned maybe more now. As
Yeah,
the
I
hours have
mean,
passed.
I know Lorraine died in the last 5 or so years. Like, she was alive for a lot of the series coming out. I don't know if Ed was. I don't remember when he died.
I think
but
he died beforehand, before
I
the
think he
movies
did
came out.
too. But like, this is like probably their biggest payday as well. Is any
Yeah.
involvement in this movie?
I think
you traveled around the world, paranormal investigating things.
yeah.
You-
And you end up getting this folk hero sort of aspect of it because of it evolved from that. But that all started with just Hollywood's habit of lying.
Yeah.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is based on a true story. It's based on the same story Psycho's based off of, which is based on the same story that what's the other one? There's another one, but they're all based on Ed Gein,
Yeah.
which we're
which is
gonna
not
get a
even remotely
series.
close.
Yeah.
It's not
We're
even
gonna-
remotely close.
We're getting a series on Ed Gein too, by the way. It's coming out on Netflix in September or
Good
October.
deal.
So
We're overdue.
But
But
like,
yeah, Ed Gein's fun and everything, but he's not Leatherface. It's a whole. It's just
Yes.
annoying. So that like little white lie,
mhm.
misleading thing, just
Mhm.
is how this Warren thing started,
and
and then it became a cash cow. So
Yeah.
they just ran with it.
and just with a little like pulling at threads, two of their most famous cases unravel. Annabelle. If you really start digging and pulling on that, you find, and you don't have to go very far. Twilight Zone episode 126, The Living Doll, is almost the exact same story as Annabelle.
which thinking about it, it is.
And,
Just-
we're not talking about like some unknown TV show. Twilight Zone was maybe not the popularity it has now, was a pretty well-known show.
Yeah.
It's not
Absolutely.
like it's not really feasible to believe that just skipped past Ed.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
Ed
not.
definitely copied it.
And
Ed-
then the
Ed-
other one,
I was gonna say, I believe Ed was definitely a Twilight Zone guy and a Dark Shadows guy. Someone into
Probably.
like who is not only like he's on two sides of a coin. He was a Catholic, but he loved the darkness of the paranormal.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
He was successful for the same reason that 1-800-Psychics was a success back in the day. People just want to believe. They just want to X-Files, but they just want to believe. And Ed tapped into it.
Yep.
And that started out with at the county fairs and stuff like that with those people. And then some people grew and grew, and Ed Warren's an example of that. And Elizabeth Warren, his psychic wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and you go to their set, another one of their most famous cases, which they can't even bring into this franchise because everybody else has trampled the Amityville horror story.
yep.
But everybody involved in Amityville has admitted the hoax. The Lutz family admitted that they just sat and brainstormed some scary stories to put in a book. Robert DeFeo, who, it's all based on having killed his whole family in the house.
Yeah.
He's admitted that he made that story up to try to get off on an insanity plea. So, like,
That's fun.
everybody involved in all these. So either the Warrens willingly helped create and perpetuate a lie, or were just so self-involved in their own fraud that they couldn't separate and just allow.
Lost in the sauce,
Yeah.
baby.
just
Yeah,
allow
they
the
totally
fraud.
were. They were. They became so self-important, and they started to believe the lie a little bit, or at least got caught up in the act.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to jive more.
Mm-hmm.
Say they hint at it in one of the scenes when they go to that couple's house, and it's just the water pipes and stuff, and they're like, they seem disappointed, but they're like, yeah, it's nothing. Definitely at the end, and they cut too soon. He's definitely asking him for like a check for a certain amount of money because he didn't go there for free.
Oh no! Like, I mean, what you see in the movie out of them is like people who
Philanthropic
have,
sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah, but how much money was in paranormal investigating in the 70s?
It's a good question.
Enough to live in Connecticut comfortably?
I mean, don't forget the seminars. How many seminars did they do, and how
Yeah.
much were they getting paid on that?
How many young girls did Ed meet at seminars?
Did he drive a bus there? That's the question.
I mean, at that
White man.
once he's doing the seminars, he doesn't need a bus. All he has to do is show up at those, and I'm sure.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine.
Fine. Let's circle back into the movie.
Yeah, let's go back to
I'm
The
loving the
Conjuring.
Warren
I've-
hate, but
I've hated enough, I think,
at least for now.
for now.
That was about 8 solid minutes of hate. It's pretty good hate. So
The truth is out there now.
in the movie, once the incident that causes them to flip out the most is the father isn't even home, and it's when they're playing hide and clap. Are they even playing? No, the wardrobe is screwing around with them at that point.
Yes.
They've
No,
already played hide and clap.
Mom and April were playing hide and clap.
Oh, okay. And then the other 3 are upstairs, and then the wardrobe scares. The door closes and locks them in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
and
no!
all hell breaks loose, right?
April was sleeping. She hears something downstairs. The mother of them making it sound like they're playing hide and clap, but it's the ghost because she gets knocked into the cellar and all that, and that's when that whole clapping happens in the dark. And
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good scare.
I was thinking of this scene where she and the little one are playing, and she's outside the armoire, and the armoire is clapping, but the kid.
That's
is
the first time you see the hands.
that was very insidious, in my opinion. That was the scene that I felt like was very comparable, without tiptoe in the windows in the background.
Yeah. But I think one of the most effective things they do in this movie is how they just sort of gradually, everybody sees different things at different times, which sort of makes it more frightening. Like
Yeah, because nobody's on the same page.
Dad's sort of like not seeing much of anything except his family freaking out.
Right. And
And
he
you
has
get-
no idea what's going on.
You get the one feeling the hands on her legs and then
Yep.
getting yanked out of her bed and seeing something.
That
in
scene
the room
sucks
in the
too. I
corner.
forgot
That's
in a
creepy.
good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene is a freaky scene. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, she's staring into that corner and nobody else can see anything.
It's
Yeah.
just It's a shiver down the spine. And the father, he does get an encounter. It's not as bad with the door like swinging open and closed and kind of getting led, but he also gets to encounter the birds flying into the house as well, which is that's
fun.
like a bad
Yeah.
omen right there.
They did that in the fourth kind with the birds flying into the house, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. I always define that to be like the archetype for, oh no, bad things are happening. Birds are kamikazing in my home.
And listen, I don't love killing the bird that much either, but at least it's more ominous.
It's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a mammal. It's easier to let it go.
It's been here
To
for
step
years.
away. Doggies and kitties, though. No. But so the Warrens get called in. They ride a wave of self-righteousness into the house, and immediately she gets her psychic, and they incite some events, and they're like, yeah, you got yourselves on. What do they call it? They didn't call it a poltergeist. They called it a something.
A demon.
They have a
I
term
think they
for
just
it in
say
the movie.
demon, right?
I believe they
Maybe?
just called it a demon that was attached
demon.
to the family. They couldn't
Yeah.
just leave because it's going to follow them.
Again,
And that was a big one
insidious.
and there's the Discovery Channel movie that came out a long time ago. It's called The Haunting, I think.
Yes.
And that one, the family at the end moves out of the house
Mhm.
and they move to another house, and then you find out that they were followed.
Yeah.
It followed them to the new house, and that's the end of the movie. That's a good one too. If you haven't seen that, that's a good watch. It's probably based on the Warrens too. Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the same vibe here, that it's attached to your family. You can't get away from it, even though you moved into the house and it got you in the house. It's attached to the family. So the Warrens are shaking them down, and we're being biased. I'm sorry.
They have the
And
recordings.
that would be a good time for another review if you got one.
I do have one more 1-star.
Ooh, just one more.
One more. I only dug out 4, but this movie is very disappointing with the killing very weird. It will be one of the worst movies of all time for me. I don't know why it's horrible. One of the very reasons why I think this is disappointing, so you didn't know, but now you have an idea,
Now he's got it. Very reasons.
is because, of the plot twist. But I would rate it 1. 1 because it was so mid. I'm sorry though.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm saying sorry.
So now we know this is a younger person. I thought this
Yeah.
was like an older person with traumatic brain injury.
No.
Listen, you little COVID kids that didn't learn grammar. You don't put a comma after because in that context because it's a subordinating conjunction. You don't need the comma because it's not connecting the clauses in the same way a coordinating conjunction.
Listen, English.
Read a book.
Listen,
Read a
English
book.
teacher. Let me send you the actual texts of some of these reviews that I'm pulling out. You may have a stroke.
I read them on Goodreads and stuff all the time. Some of them are on my books. Read the veil. Buy it, everybody. But yeah.
There's one period in that whole first paragraph of that review.
Consciousness review.
And one comma.
So that review, it kind of flies in the face of sort of what we think, which is that the movie is as a fictional story, not based on real people who weren't these people, the Warrens in the movie, the real Ed and Elizabeth Warren. We think the movie is well done as a horror film, and it's good. It's got great scares. The lead up to the scares is good. They set the atmosphere. Like John was saying earlier, they keep you on your toes and off balance because nobody knows what's going on at the same time. The family's not unified for the first 45 to an hour, maybe.
No.
It takes a while. And the movie remains frightening and scary throughout until it's over.
Yes.
And if it was just one movie, I would think of The Conjuring a lot more fondly. But it turned into this, and I don't want to get into this yet because we're going to finish the first movie, but it turned into this whole franchise of Magoo, and I just can't stand it.
And listen, I think for me, if the paranormal investigators in this movie were Ned and Gloria Watson.
Estefan.
Yeah. Estefan. Ned and Gloria Estefan. I would think differently of it because it's not cashing in on a fraud.
Ned. I feel it. I feel it. What's a Gloria Estefan song? I drew a blank.
I am too. The rhythm is gonna get you. Is that her? The rhythm is gonna get you.
The demon is gonna get. The demon is gonna. There it is. Coming out of the dark Is another one.
Gloria
And
Estefan in the
boy.
Miami
Oh,
Sound
she
Machine.
does conga.
Yeah,
She
that's
does
right.
conga.
That's right.
Okay, back to the horror films. Let's wrap up the first movie and then continue crapping on the Warrens.
So,
What happens at the end, Rye Guy?
well, I was going to say the Warrens find out with their assistant, Drew Thomas, and Officer Brad Hamilton, because they need a police officer just in case anything happens. They find out
Shoot the
that
ghost.
this is, oh man, this isn't
Report on it if anything goes down.
this isn't
It's like The
Frighteners.
Exorcist.
All right, this isn't
Yeah.
Frighteners. They find out that they're haunted by a witch and Satanist named Bathsheba Sherman, a relative of Marytown Eastie, who sacrificed her week-old baby to the devil and killed herself in 1863 at 3:07 in the morning after cursing all
You don't
who
wanna
take
do
her
that.
land. Well, that
Mhm.
explains why the
Fun
clock
fact,
stopped.
by the way, that's Casey
And-
Anthony's great aunt. You didn't know.
I did not.
You did
And
not.
and they also have to tie it into the Salem witch trials.
Yep.
Of course.
I mean,
'Cause they gotta
any
validate that and
anything New
definitely make
England creepy has to
genocide.
get tied in.
I guess it's not a genocide, but think
Yeah.
of the
No,
mass
it's all-
murders.
It was a land grab.
Yes,
Yeah, it was.
It was bad. It was bad. They end up having the bodies are under the home, right? Earthen floor, that kind of thing. They have to get them out and exhume them. And then is it Ed and Elizabeth who take the power away from the bad things? I forget how it goes.
Ed and
Yeah.
Lorraine.
Ed
Yeah.
Lorraine.
Yeah, they
Oh, it's Lorraine.
well,
Lorraine.
mostly
I've been saying
Ed.
Elizabeth the whole podcast.
No, you're okay. You were you had us Fred Sanford
I'd like
in
it
you.
better if that was her
Elizabeth.
name.
Elizabeth, I'm coming for you.
Elizabeth, I'm gonna have to.
Is
I thought it was
the-
Ed and Elizabeth once. I'm gonna have to go back and change out every one of them too. It's gonna be
No,
fun.
no, we just
So-
gotta leave it, and it just can catch how many times he says Elizabeth.
You know
in
what
this
I'll do? I'll
episode?
just use a AI robot to say the word Elizabeth, and I'll put that into each one of the audio bits. It'll take me hours. I'll do it
Elizabeth.
for the love of the game, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, Lorraine gets it done,
yeah.
right?
And
Crawling down there.
Carolyn, the mom, is fully possessed and is gonna take April and kill her, just like Bathsheba did. You
Yep.
know, the whole curse is just gonna play out again.
And
That's Sheba.
and I'll say this: Lily Taylor, who plays Carolyn, awesome actress, and same thing for Roger, the actor who played Ron Livingston, who plays Roger Perrin. There we go, another good actor. Two underrated actors who are showcased in this film. I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan of film.
Again, like I have very little issue with the movie itself. It's well acted. It's well put together. They do a really nice job with it.
The background
Except
does
the
sour
ones.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that does sour
Yeah.
the
Oh,
film.
yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we can't like get behind. Like, I do think Insidious is marginally better. The Insidious
Yeah.
franchise isn't.
Mhm.
Both franchises suck. I think as soon as it goes into movie 2, it drops significantly, and then after that, it gets so bad.
Halloween
Yeah.
It
2.
just gets so bad.
Annabelle,
enjoy them.
Annabelle Origins, The Nun 2.
Yeah.
And
Curse of Lola Lorna.
Yeah.
Just come up with a new movie.
Yeah.
That's why Ron Perlman's doing Waterfall, because nobody's doing any. You know, it was great when you did the first Conjuring and the movie Insidious, and everybody was like, "Cool, make original concepts
Yep.
based on that vibe instead of just running through the franchise thing." It's just so annoying.
He did try the same vibe in a movie called Malignant, and it wasn't good. Sorry,
Malignant
I'm
was
not-
terrible.
It
Malignant
was-
wasn't the same vibe at all, was it?
he was trying to
was the-
capture that similar vibe, and he
Oh.
didn't nail it. No, he did not nail it.
No, he was trying to like make her into a tumor, and it was so bad. He's hammering you over the head
it's
that
not
it
a
was
tumor.
cancer. The camera angles and stuff couldn't be more different than The Conjuring. The way he like would do the drop cameras and stuff, it looked like I thought I was gonna have a seizure watching that movie. And it was the voice was the worst part. The voice of the thing, and we have to do Malignant just for me to shit on Malignant.
I can't wait to shit on that movie because I was so excited to watch it, and that plot twist
Yeah, it was
at
the
end.
pandemic.
Yep.
We were like,
Yep.
yeah,
This is
Resident
great,
Evil 2
James
remake
Wan.
and Malignant. Let's do this. Well, Resident
Mhm.
Evil 2 remake held up.
That
Malignant
it
did
did.
not.
Yeah, it did.
Did not. No. So at least we got our little heart keys. We're running around getting killed by lickers, but Malignant sucked.
Aim for
But
the
yeah,
brain.
and actually that kind of kills my argument of like try something new. But some of them are going to be duds, and I know studios are afraid of losing money. Malignant was definitely a loser, big
Yes.
time loser too.
Did it though? Because I feel like
was straight to
anything that came
streaming.
out, but also
Yeah.
was 2020, so there wasn't theater.
True.
Right. So everybody had to
And
kind
$40
of take an L.
Spend
Mhm.
$40 just to see Malignant for an hour and a half.
I would have been pissed if we spent money to see that movie.
I watch it on
If it wasn't
HBO.
just on my screen. Back to
HBO.
Tiger King. But
I-
Conjuring, yeah.
That was
I'm
binge.
so glad my 2020 binging was so off the beaten path.
I'm
Did you
sure
not-
it was.
did
I
you
didn't
not
watch
watch-
Tiger King.
No,
Did-
I watched it. I
the
binged
two
it.
series I binged during COVID were Coach and
Okay.
Barney Miller.
Oh,
I mean, that's
Fair.
pretty. That would have made me feel better. That's like we
Good
watched Boy
comedy.
Meets World with the kids,
Mhm.
and I just feel the vibe from that show, like leaching into my children. And I'm so cool with that. Coach is like what you needed during the pandemic. The world is
Mhm.
ending, but we're all stuck
Yeah.
inside where it's safe. And here's Coach.
Mhm.
You should have been watching Airplane too, right after.
Ooh.
Yeah.
that was.
I mean,
that
it-
would've been good.
Like there were just so many. Coach is just such goofy fun that it was perfect for that time period. And Barney Miller really falls into that too, with, sort of the added older image of police officers, benevolent and kind and really trying to help.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
it was a nice experience. I need
They do
another
some
pandemic.
horror movies and stuff. I read a lot, wrote a lot, but the viewing stuff, the movies were pretty disappointing. I can't think of anything good that hit during that straight to stream era.
No.
They had
Just-
I think a Godzilla movie came out that sucked.
Yep.
Legendaries, those movies. I went to see the most recent one with some friends, and the legendary Godzilla movies are dead to me. They're just superhero movies at this point. I can't wait for minus. What is it going to be? Minus
Minus
a half or -2?
Nah, minus -0.
It might be. I know that they're going
Double
to
minus.
their campaign that they're doing with Southeast Asia is going to be based or is going to be for -1, the -1 franchise of Godzilla. But they are having Shin Godzilla 2 as well as coming out, which I'm more excited for, to be
Yeah.
honest. Even though -1 was great, Shin was also great.
We need
Yeah,
good Godzilla
anyway.
movies like that where he just
Only
doesn't
we
give a
get
shit.
into kaiju during the Conjuring episode. I suck. But anyway, Kaiju number 8 is also a decent watch. But anyway,
Devil May
yeah,
Cry.
So back to Devil May Cry.
I just finished watching
Back-
that today.
I guess we should wrap it up because that's about all we got to say about that.
Yeah,
Conjuring,
pretty
Sam.
much.
Conjuring. That's the Conjuring, everybody. There's another one coming out soon. You
Mhm.
bastards, don't
Next
give them
week.
your money.
Next
September
Friday.
5th. We know you're
You can do
going
it.
to,
Bring it.
but go, hey, if you're going to give them your money, go in with, a critical mind and understand.
1-star reviews with proper grammar.
Load up the 1-star reviews so that when this is out on home video, we have plenty to go on.
Or maybe it's good. Maybe it'll be like the best one in the franchise, and I'll be happy for them.
I mean,
I don't
according
want it to fail, but I think if it's a failure of a movie, I want it to fail. And the last 4 have been.
I feel like with the trailer, it's showing their end. Less people are going to their seminars. They are falling from like the eyesight of like people who were
Well-
interested in their investigations and stuff, and now it's all falling apart. And it's actually covering that, so that's interesting. Especially that she's dead.
Because
if-
in their time, they were debunked by a lot of people. This modern view of them is really centered on the Conjuring movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interweaving with other stories, which I don't know how Lola Lorna fits into it. Don't know how.
Wherever the screenwriters make it fit.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
going to be the way it goes.
Fair.
But, hey, top 5s, everybody.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Top
Top
fives.
5s.
I'm going with
Top
top
fives.
5 James Wan projects, which means he either produced and
Malignant is in this, I swear to God. Or the whole.
good night, everybody. So We're going to start off with number 5. James Wan wrote the story as well as produced. I do like it. I've grown fond of it, and it's 2022's Megan. So
Megan was okay. The sequel's coming out.
I
Sequel what?
Mm,
Oh,
I
it's
was
out.
yeah, I saw how they're taking the sequel, they're making it more into an action film. The
Yeah,
first
Megan's a
one,
hot robot with like an attitude now.
yeah, it just no. Like originally I didn't want to watch it because I thought it was a Chucky ripoff and I hate those. And then I learned it was something else and Jada forced me to watch it. It was Clockwork Orange style and I did enjoy it. I thought it was a different vibe. It was like comedy horror and it worked. And it showed that James Wan because he's done like Insidious and Saw and The Conjuring, all this dark stuff. It shows that he's kind of have a light side with horror and comedy. So it was nice to
Mhm.
see that attribute on his end. To which leads me to my number 4. We have mentioned it before in the past, and that is Saw. The great,
Yeah.
Cary Elwes.
Saw 1 was also another great example of that being, and Saw 2 wasn't horrible either.
Mhm.
You
But
know,
I wish they stopped it. I wish they stopped it there.
Yeah.
I do.
the
But
syringe.
that's the issue with the major studio horror movies. You want them to do well, but then when they do well, you're going to get 2, 3, 4, and 5 also.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like the Matrix should have stopped at the end of the Matrix. I know that each one is its own philosophical like leader or whatever lead,
Well,
and there's a subtext of all. And I did see all 3 movies and blah 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 blah. When you do that with Saw though, and you're just leading up to like Jigsaw
Yeah.
having his grand finale, just do that at the second movie.
Yeah.
They
I
couldn't have
agree.
made a better first movie for Saw. They just couldn't have.
No.
If they
Why
just
did they ruin
ended it, they could have just ended with him walking out. Spoiler.
Yeah.
And it's it. And I would have been satisfied with that. It's
Very
ambiguous
sad,
and
way
that's
more
it.
sad.
Oh yeah. Cary Elwes lives. That's all I need to know. He's just missing a foot.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Yeah, Tourniquet was there. It's okay.
Oh.
All right.
Number 3, a lot of people needed a tourniquet in this film, and it's actually we covered it a few episodes ago. It's produced by James Wan, directed by Osgood Perkins, as we've talked about. It's The Monkey. That's number 3. I do love The Monkey. It's produced by James Wan, Stephen King. You just can't beat it, and definitely
I should have known that was produced by James Wan. It has his vibe. I
Oh,
didn't
dude.
realize that.
the blood, the gore, and again, it has a little bit of that comedy element that he shows in Megan. But it's just
He's the thing where he doesn't smooth his edges. I guess that's what I should say about him. It's not a bad thing. But The Monkey is a movie with very like stark cuts
yes.
and things like that. Wan doesn't endeavor to smooth the edges and flow like other directors and stuff do.
No.
I don't know if anybody's gonna pick up what I'm saying or like
No,
it'll make sense to that, but that's the best way I can describe it.
It's like
Yeah.
whether he's directing or he's producing, you see that element of what he brings to the table in that. It's like watching Tarantino produce what was the
Yeah.
movie he produced, Hellride. It's directed and written by Larry Bishop, but you see that Tarantino style in it. And that's the thing with like Megan and The Monkey is you see that James Wan style. And you're right, it is rough, but that's what makes it work. In certain films, it's what makes it work. But it's also how he matches with the colors and stuff. Because I feel like with Megan and stuff, you can see the sharp change, but it's also right in your face. While with like Insidious or The Conjuring, it's rough, but it's like smooth, if that makes sense. Because everything's like in the dark. And that leads to my number 2, because there's a lot of rough, sharp cuts in this film. And that is Mortal Kombat, the 2021 edition. He did produce it, and I'm happy he brought it back. I'll raise a flag for the 1995 Mortal Kombat, which will lead me to a quick story where Kearns and I, one Christmas, did say we were going to show the kids Mortal Kombat. And we
They got
showed,
so mad at us.
well, yeah, because we showed them the original. They were like, yeah. They all showed up to the room. They were like, we're going to watch the new one. And then we put on the 1995 one. And
They saw
So-
Goro and they were so mad. They were so mad. Oh, that was a good day. That was a good day. And I think I had to leave the room too, which made it even better. So I left Ryan in there with 20 of them.
as they're
Just
all
those 20
angry. Oh, no, I
Oh, man.
smoothed it. I put on Princess Bread, I think. I either put on Princess Bread or
We
Gremlins.
switched something. We
I
yeah,
s-
we switched it to something.
But That leads to
Oh,
my
it was
number
good.
one. We've been talking about it all night, and it still creeps me out to this day to the point where I'm never watching it alone, and that's Insidious.
It's good.
I can't watch. I'll lock myself in a room. That movie PG-13 and creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah. Insidious is it's a well done movie. It's very good.
And
Yeah,
proof that you don't need the R to be scary.
no,
Mhm.
no, and there are jump scares in that with the red
Yeah.
demon, and it works, and it's
Mhm.
again subtle. But you talk, and you got me focused on it because you see the sharp changes, right? Those sharp cuts. But
Yeah.
again, how he does in each film, like Insidious, he does it where you can see the sharp, but it's like hidden.
Right.
And that makes you want to like peer in more. Especially the scene where he's in the bedroom and they're looking for the red demon on the wall, and it's like crazy cuts and stuff. And then it slowly like focuses on the cabinet and it flies. Like it works. Because
It does work, you're right.
it gets you in there and then boom. But I want to hear your top five, John. I'm curious the way you went with it.
I want to do a little glue to tie your top fives together after that. I think Insidious and Sinister. I don't know if both of them are within the 2010 to 2020 range or not, but
Yeah.
I
Believe
think they are.
Sinister's in that
I think
range
they
too,
might
yeah.
be my favorites as far as well done horror films that tick the boxes the right way and just are good. They're just the best probably of that time frame, of the type,
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
haunted house moving in
Yeah.
kind of type. And I like Sinister even more because it's got the folk demon in it too.
Mhm.
That's a cool idea where they do the deep dive and figure that out. But anyway, John, get after it.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to 2013. We already talked about the highest grossing horror movies of 2013. And a lot of the hype movies, some sequels, you had remakes. You also had a Texas Chainsaw movie that year. You had a lot of that. But I wanted to try to highlight 5 movies from 2013 that are a little off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with my number 5 is another Joe Bagos movie. I don't think he's ever missed as a director. We really got to start working some of his stuff in here. So my number 5 is Almost Human.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, Mark Fisher disappeared in a flash of blue light. Now, a string of murders has led his friend Seth to believe that Mark is back and is not himself anymore. I think this is Bagos' first feature-length film, and he's nailed it every time since too. So we'll roll to number 4, which is Bad Milo.
It's an interesting title.
It's an
Is it-
interesting movie.
Is it a dog? Where's Otis?
Oh no. Oh, it is
Otis.
not a dog. It's something else. Duncan is plagued by intestinal problems whenever he gets stressed. It's not an ulcer, however, but a demon that exits his body through his anus and starts to eliminate the sources of Duncan's stress.
Does this have Christopher
Nice.
Lloyd in it?
A vengeful turd that gets rid of my stress. That
It-
sounds great.
Right? It doesn't, but it's got a really cool cast. I didn't take them all down, but there's like a lot of really, really good people before they were really known. Brie Larson is in it.
Okay.
Not Brie Larson.
Speaking of
Brie
vengeful
Larson, I think.
turds.
For number 3, we're gonna go to Hong Kong
Oh,
for a movie called Rigor Mortis.
I've heard of that.
Such a good movie. So Rigor Mortis is basically an homage to the Chinese vampire movies of the 80s, which
Yes.
I
Oh, nice.
now want to dig up and find. If they're all like this, Rigor Mortis is like legitimately scary. So this apartment complex is plagued by ghosts, vampires, zombies, and it's just like the creepiest atmosphere.
Cool.
I want to say
Rigor mortis.
I've
Let's see where I can find it.
I've heard of the film. I don't know if it's from my father or from my uncle Sal, but I have heard of that film. And Hong Kong vampire films are creepy. They used to show them on IFC late at night. You might get lucky or something. Like they would show like Christopher Lee and Seven Golden Vampires, or you know what I mean. And then it would like get into like heavy stuff.
Criminally underrated Chinese horror movie. These He Bai Wu Chang, Chinese Grim Reapers. Interesting. And this one's spelled Rigort.
Rigor.
Rigor.
Is it? Yeah, Rigor. So the guy just got the title wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Rigor, not
Rigor.
Rigort. Everybody.
Rigor.
2013. This movie came out in
Yep.
2013. I thought it was older.
No. There might
look
be
at the
two.
monster.
There's probably, I think there is another Rigor Mortis, an older one. And there was a metal band called Rigor Mortis that was pretty cool too.
Rigor Mortis.
Um,
2013 streaming. Let's see if it's out there.
I was gonna say if there is an older one.
Daily
Or
Motion's
similar
got the
type.
whole movie.
Ooh.
Daily Motion's always good for that. I mean, you're not getting 4K, but I guess it's 2013.
Hey,
It's
1080p.
HD. It's a 1080p. Yeah, it's not a bad copy. Everybody, YouTube, don't get mad at me, but your competitor is at it again. It's also on YouTube. Or no, it's only 15 minutes. Never mind.
You can
You
rent
can
it
watch
for
it
$1.99.
ad-free and uncut on Shudder as well.
Nice.
I would rent it for $1.99.
It's worth it. It's
Patreon's
definitely worth the
part, yeah.
$1.99. All right.
I would Patreon.
Number 2 is one of my favorite found footage movies, which is saying a lot because I don't generally like found footage.
Yeah.
And it is WNUF Halloween Special.
Okay.
WNUF Halloween Special.
Mhm. It's it's a found footage style horror comedy based around a Halloween TV show that heads to a haunted house with a team of paranormal investigators. It's presented as if it's a found VHS recording off of TV.
Okay.
It's like an hour and a half of like the whole broadcast, so you get commercials mixed in. It's such a cool like retro experience that will, it'll definitely transport you back. And it's really well done.
It's giving me like Late Night with the Devil vibes. Like,
Yeah, I
not
can
like
see
in
that. Like it's lower budget, it's rawer than that, and with the found footage, like it's like watching a VHS. No matter what quality you actually find it in, it's a very VHS experience.
See, I like that. I like
You
that
know,
little
Very VHS.
little squiggles.
you know something cool was coming on, so you pop the tape in and you push record, and you're not going to be home, so you're not like stopping and cutting the ads out. You're
Yep.
you're getting the whole broadcast.
See, that's cool. That's a cool concept just to do that and have like fake
Yep.
commercials. But the question is would you have like fake commercials throughout, or would they get demonic as the movie continued?
No, it's so cool that the commercials really didn't foretell anything that was coming or really.
Oh, that's
tie in.
cool.
It was just like straight up like, oh, I'm watching this scary movie. Oh, here's a Snickers commercial kind of feeling,
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
And so we'll get to my number 1,
Which is it?
which is my favorite found footage movie of all time,
Blair Witch. No, I'm joking.
Willow
I'm joking.
Creek.
No.
Which
Willow
we,
Creek is
Creek's
really good.
which we talked
Willow
about
Really good.
within the last couple of episodes. We talked about Willow Creek. It's
Yep.
written and directed by Bobcat Goldthwait,
Mm-hmm.
which is just an awesome thing if you remember Bobcat from the 80s and his Police Academy characters and the voice.
It's being
And the,
directed by him. That would be wild.
Yeah,
And for
just
for him
wild.
to be the guy behind Willow Creek is, you wouldn't guess that at
Mhm.
trivia night. That's for sure.
Mhm. So it's a couple going camping in known Bigfoot country in hopes of proving Bigfoot's existence. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
They prove something is there.
We need to put
I mean,
that
it's
on
in
the
the-
list.
It's a bunch of Long Islanders getting killed up in the Finger Lakes. So count me in.
Even better.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Even better. Sorry. It's an island.
Don't be sorry.
It's an
Don't you be
island.
sorry, but it's a good watch. Definitely compared to what you might think it would be. Bobcat Goldthwait, Bigfoot, found
Mhm.
footage, but for some reason, everybody,
It works.
that's the winner.
it works.
It does.
It makes me want
All right,
him
guys.
to take off like a Bigfoot costume and do his like classic bit for like 5 seconds, like bloopers at the end. I know it's
A
not in it,
fire
but
truck.
We're getting to the end here. Let's see. Ryan's going to be on the top for this one. So John and I will be on the bottom. So I'm just going to guess that I'm going to go over here. Go to those 2 videos over there for Clown in a Cornfield and Piranha 2, you bastards. And watch those if you haven't watched them already. And we're getting out of here.
have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.